Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Kevin Gelman, who is CEO of Alfatron Electronics, and Michael van Rensburg, who is Technical Director with Alfatron Electronics. Topic of conversation is, of course, AV over IP in alignment with our AV over IP deep dive, which will be all over our website throughout the month of March, as well as in the March issue of CI plus SSI. So we're bringing together thought leaders and really leading companies in the AV over IP space, hence why we invited Kevin, why we invited Michael from Alfatron to be here today. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Really appreciate the time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So let's get right into it. Alfatron, I'd like to just give kind of an overview of the company for those who may not be as familiar with it as we all are. What is Alfatron Electronics and why is it a special organization?
Okay, so Alfatron Electronics, the product Alfatron was developed more than 18 years ago in South Africa. We then branched out to globally, where we sell our product through our large network of partners. Some of the countries we have footprint in currently is places like Australia, New Zealand, Ireland, France, Italy, India, as well as the US. And in the US, we've been selling since 2020. And yeah, our product and our footprint has grown within the US.
So let's dive into the AV over IP. As I say, this is part of our AV over IP deep dive. Alfatron is a big supporter of that deep dive. Why don't you talk a little bit about AV over IP as a space broadly and also Alfatron's leadership within it?
So we have a range of AV over IP devices, encoders and decoders, both in the 1080p or HD space, as well as now recently launched 4K units. So we've also moved into the 4K streaming space for AV over IP. And the thing that makes the system specifically, let's call it special or a little bit more unique, is that it is really, really easy to integrate. It's a very simple system. You don't actually need any form of managed switch sitting behind it. You don't actually need any form of main controller. The system is pretty much plug and play, and especially if it's on any, let's call it standard non-managed switch, it's probably even the better way to go about installing the system. And once you've plugged in your encoders and your decoders, make sure your sources are on and streaming or at least providing a source image connected to your monitor. And it could be, and it is as simple as walking up to the encoder or at least the decoder. You press and hold the little button on the front panel and it will basically scan, and you can essentially just run through each source. Maybe you've got 3 or 4 sources on the system. You can actually just run through it one by one. So you don't even need any form of control, iPad, PC, anything to really just get the system up and running, especially if it's a smaller style system. You know, so that is especially helpful for guys or industries and spaces where you maybe just have a couple of sources, maybe 2 or 3 sources, smaller sports bar or a smaller restaurant or a retail space that really just want a couple of basic images or videos or content that they want to just stream to maybe 2 or 3 or 4, maybe even 5 monitors inside the space. You know, and then you can move up all the way to having it controlled maybe in a larger sports bar space or a larger even digital media space or a space where somebody has a lot more content that they want to actually send out into the industry or into the public space. Then you can actually manage it with the control app that's on iOS and on Android. And there it's even as simple as once the iPad is connected to the Wi-Fi network that's then sitting on the same backbone as the AV over IP system, it's a matter of clicking and dragging each screen or each source to each output screen that you want to do. And you can even build video walls if you even have a video wall maybe in a reception space, then you can actually build video walls with the system as well. So really easy to integrate, easy to operate, and fits in a variety of spaces. So retail, houses of worship, sports bars, restaurants in general, hotels, digital signage. You can really implement them in a lot of different ways in a lot of different spaces.
Well, that ease of deployment, that ease of operation, that plug and play simplicity, that is so in demand these days, not only among integrators, of course, but also among end users. They don't want to have a tremendous learning curve. Everything seems to be very experience focused. And it seems like Alfatron as an organization is really leaning into that, giving the best possible experience, not only to integrators, but also to end users to make sure they're getting the outcome they want by leveraging your technology.
No, correct. And we strive to make things as easy as possible for both the integrators to get the system up and running for their clients, as well as then the clients need to develop their own IP, intellectual property, into how to manage the system, right? Mm-hmm. That is really, really simple for them to do. It's not something that's, let's call it a game changer for them, or something that they are going to find complicated to operate. Especially if we take a sports bar, for instance. It's very busy. There's always something going on. One client might ask, can I have this sports channel on that screen, and so on. So it needs to be really easy and effective for them to be able to just click, drag, and they've done it, and it's operational.
Well, thank you so much, Michael, for what was really very informative information about Alfatron, how you distinguish yourself technologically in terms of that ease of use, ease of operation. Really positive stuff. Thank you for helping inform me about Alfatron. And thank you, Kevin, for giving me an overview of the organization. For people who want to learn more about the organization, for people who might want to be engaging with you and start deploying your products, especially because they work so well across multiple verticals, what would be the best way to do that? Is it email, phone, website? What's the best way for people to engage with Alfatron? Because I imagine some of them are really interested at this point.
Yes, so we can be contacted on 818-539-7882. Press option 1 for sales, or option 4 for technical or support. We can also be contacted. I can be contacted on my email address, which is kevin@alfatronelectronics.com, as well as they can go to our website, which is www.alfatronelectronics.com.
Well, again, thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you so much, Michael. Really informative conversation. And I know I'm going to be checking out the Alfatron Electronics website myself. I hope our integrator audience does as well, because it sounds like you're doing some really cool things across multiple different verticals that integrators are trying to leverage at this point. So thank you for being here. Really do appreciate the time investment.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan, for having us.
My pleasure to have been joined by Kevin Gelman, who is CEO of Alfatron Electronics, and Michael van Rensburg, who is Technical Director with Alfatron Electronics. My name is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. As I said at the outset, please do check out the AV over IP Deep Dive, which will be in the March issue of CI plus SSI, as well as all over commercialintegrator.com throughout the month of March. It'll be a perfect opportunity to hear from recognized industry thought leaders, people like Kevin, people like Michael, and recognized companies that are doing really well, interesting stuff in AV over IP these days, companies like Alfatron Electronics. So please do check it out. Until then, we will see you soon.